Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl AmandaEnsing, and today we are doing some full coverage glam. I don't know why I was doing this right now, but we're gonna do some full coverage glam today. Today, I'm gonna show you my tips and tricks for covering up anything: acne, acne scars, darkness, hyperpigmentation, discoloration, anything on the skin you wanna cover. I'm gonna show you how to layer products in order to cover all of that up without it looking cakey. So if you wanna see my full coverage foundation routine, then just keep watching. Today, we are doing a full coverage foundation routine, which means cake that face. I'm a full coverage queen. I love full coverage makeup. We love it. Even when my skin is acting fine, I still like full coverage. I like how flawless it looks. My skin is pretty normal. I used to be very oily when I lived on the East Coast, but there's no humidity here in California, and my skin has kind of normalized. Sometimes I get a little bit dry, especially during the colder, I say colder because in California it never gets too cold, but the colder months. However, I can get a little bit oily like in these areas of my face. So as I talk through the products, I'll tell you what kind of skin they're good for. So yeah, so I got my coffee, we're ready, let's do this. I've already moisturized my skin and we're gonna jump into primer. Primer is everything. I know it's not like a pretty product to look at. I feel like a lot of people skip primer because they think it doesn't work, but trust me, a primer is the base to your foundation. It's like when you paint a wall, you prime it first and then you paint it. You don't just put the paint on. There are so many primers out there, so just get one that addresses your specific need or what you're going for. Trust me, if you don't use a primer, it will change your life. There are pore primers like I'm gonna use today. There are mattifying primers, there are hydrating primers, there are redness primers. There are so many different ones that are amazing. Today I'm gonna use the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer. I really like this. It gives you a very even canvas. It fills in any pores on the skin and your skin just looks like it has a smoothing filter on. So this gives you the Facetune without the Facetune. I love this primer so much. I also feel like it kind of mattifies a little bit, but I'm going to go in with like this much, which I know looks like a lot, but I'm gonna put it all over my face. So I rub it between my fingers and then I dab it in the areas that I want it. And then, oh my gosh, it's so smooth. Like you're gonna see how smooth my skin looks. And I just press and rub it into the skin. Like, can you guys already see a difference? It looks like I have a smoothing filter on my face. Like, do you see that? It's smoothed out everything. I'm gonna be using two different foundations today because I'm an extra full coverage queen and I wanna show you guys like what I've been doing when I want that full coverage cake on my face, but it's not gonna look cakey. So I'm gonna be mixing the Hourglass Stick Foundation with the Nars Radiant Longwear Foundation. This is like my dream duo for full glam. I love it so much. You can find these at Sephora. They're a little bit pricey, I know, don't hate me, but foundation is something that I will invest in. Like, I love drugstore foundation. I'm gonna show you some drugstore foundations right now. Like, I love drugstore foundation. However, these are like my current favorite, more high-end foundations you can find at Sephora. So I'm gonna use those two today. If you're on a budget and you're looking for a drugstore recommendation, I'm gonna show you right now. These two are my current favorite full coverage foundations at the drugstore. We have the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour foundation. This has a pump. It's amazing. I've used it in so many different tutorials and I've mentioned it so many times. It's so good. I've also been loving the new Covergirl foundation. It's the True Blend Matte Made. I had to say that like 10 times because I kept messing it up, but this foundation as well. And it also has a pump. So yay for drugstore pump foundations, but these two are some of my favorites. You can watch my older tutorials that I've done the last couple months if you want to see these in action. I mentioned this before. I tried this foundation when it first came out like a year and a half ago and the shade was too light and then I never got a darker shade. I just recently, a couple weeks ago, started using this and oh my gosh, it's so freaking good. I love stick foundations. I think I used the Makeup Forever one for like over a year straight and that was like my go-to. So this is what I'm gonna be applying first. I'm using the shade Golden Tan because I have a little bit of a self-tan right now, and the brush I'm using, this brush is so good. This is the Morphe M439 brush. This has been my go-to foundation brush. When I went to Miami, this is all that I used. Like every single day, these are the two that I used. And Miami is hella hot and humid and my foundation didn't budge. Even on the beach, like if you saw my Miami vlog that I put up on my channel, I had a little bit of foundation on and girl, it was looking good. All right, so I'm just gonna go in and literally put this all over my face, like everywhere. And my face, I usually don't self-tan. If I do self-tan my face, it only lasts like a couple days. So that's why it looks so much darker, but it will match my body. I'm gonna take my brush and just start blending in the foundation. Make sure you get like all the creases around your nose too. Make sure you blend it really well. I'm also gonna add some on my neck just so it blends. and around my jawline. Like, have you ever seen that like demarcation line? So now we're gonna go in with the Nars foundation. I'm just going to pump it straight onto the brush. I'm gonna do 2 pumps and just start pressing it into the skin. This foundation has a little bit of a luminosity to it, so it'll add a little bit of glow to the skin. Both of these foundations are honestly good for any skin type. I feel like the Nars one is a little bit more hydrating than the Hourglass, but I feel like both of these foundations are good for any skin type. I think the most important thing with these 2 foundations is you find a primer that works for you. So if you want a more matte look, just do a mattifying primer. My favorite is the Hourglass Veil. I know that primer is so expensive. I think it's like maybe $50 or $60. It's like really expensive, it's crazy. But I've been using it for years and years and years. Like even when I couldn't afford to buy the full, I would buy the small one. And it's just my go-to because I used to be so oily, and that was the only thing that would keep me matte was that primer, because it's waterproof. Like you will not have any oils coming through and your foundation will last all day. So you can see when I added that foundation, it added a little bit of a glow to the skin, which I really like. And we're getting a little bit more coverage. Both of these foundations are a medium to full coverage buildable foundation. So since they have so much coverage, the key is to really press it into the skin so that way it doesn't sit on top and cake up on the skin. That's why I'm pressing it. Rather with the stick foundation, I kind of buffed it in. So with the liquid, I'm just pressing it into the skin. Moving on to concealer, I'm also going to double up on concealer. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way. This is the new multi-use sculpting concealer. I used this in my last video and literally fell in love with it. It's so good and it has so much coverage. So I'm going to take the shade Warm Beige, which is this color, and then I'm also going to add some of the Makeup Revolution concealer. This is the Conceal and Define C7 shade, and this is a drugstore concealer. So I'm going to first take Warm Beige, and I'm gonna go underneath of my eyes and right next to my nose, on the side of my nose. And then I'm also gonna go on my eyelid. It's gonna be my eye primer. I'm gonna add some on my chin, middle of my forehead. So the Makeup Revolution concealer is a lighter shade, so I'm gonna take this right on the inner part of the eye to brighten a little bit further, because the Too Faced one is a little bit closer to my skin tone and I want more coverage. I've been loving mixing concealers, one that's more my skin tone and then one that's a little bit lighter, just because I feel like it adds extra coverage and I love the way that looks. I'm also gonna go with a lighter concealer down my nose and again right here and on my chin and on my cupid's bow. I'm gonna take my Morphe sponge and I'm gonna blend everything out. You apply both of the concealers at the same time, they get to blend and work together, versus when you keep layering concealer, I feel like that can lead to more cakiness because you're applying concealer, letting it dry, applying concealer, letting it dry, and it kind of builds on top of one another. But when you apply them both at the same time, it looks very flawless and very airbrushed. So now that I've blended everything out, we're gonna go ahead and set it. I'm gonna use my Laura Mercier powder and we're gonna bake using the same sponge. I just like to go back and blend right before I set it, to make sure there are no creases in the concealer, because you want to set it when it's creaseless. If you set the creases, it's gonna still be creased after you set it. Make sure you blend all of the creases out first. And then I'm gonna take the round side for my eyelid. I'm also gonna set on my forehead because it looks a little bit shiny. I try to set everywhere that looks shiny, everywhere that I put concealer, and then I can add the glow in with highlight. I'm also gonna go underneath where I contour. I love the flat side on this sponge. It's everything. Makes it so easy. Baking tip, don't let it set too long. In my experience, the longer I let it set, I feel like the drier it gets and the more powdery that it feels and tight it feels on my skin. I know some people like to let their powder bake for a very long time, but I personally do not. I like to leave it for a little bit and then just brush it off. So literally we just set everything and I'm gonna go ahead and brush it off. I feel like it doesn't need that long to set and I don't want it to look powdery. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dust off all of the excess powder. I'm gonna go back to the Born This Way concealer in a darker shade and we're gonna cream contour. We going all creams today. I'm gonna use the shade Cocoa and we're gonna go in. For my nose, I'm just gonna focus on the tip of my nose. And then I'm also gonna go on my jawline and a little bit right here. So I'm gonna go back in with some powder. And now I'm just gonna dust off the excess. I'm gonna take the 8L palette from Morphe, this contour palette. I'm gonna use the shade Debutante right here, and I'm gonna set all of that cream contour. Taking an R7 brush from Morphe, and I'm gonna start by setting everywhere I put the bronzer. Especially if you're oily, you wanna make sure you always set any cream or liquid on your face just so it doesn't budge, because if you are oily, those oils are gonna seep through the creams and you're gonna get oily so fast. If you're dry, you might not have to set. If your skin's really dry, you might be okay just using the creams or liquids, but I always like to set it just to make sure. I'm gonna use Donut, which is the lightest shade, to contour my nose, and I'm using a smaller brush. All right, so I'm gonna add some blush. I'm gonna take Nars Luster. It's a corally shade, and I'm gonna go right above that contour. And I'm also gonna add a little bit on top of my nose and on the side. Y'all know I love that little sun-kissed look. Oh my God. Oh my God. We need to have a funeral right now. My Mac, oh darling, highlight. I'm still gonna use it though. Okay, we put it back in. At least it didn't crumble. Oh my God. I'm gonna take a clean sponge because that one has a contour all over it. And I'm gonna use this sponge to apply my highlight. Woo! It's so pretty. Also, when you apply with a sponge, it really melts it into the skin so it doesn't look so powdery, cakey, frosty. Like, you know, highlights can get really cakey really quick, I feel like, to where it looks like dust on your cheek. You know what I'm saying? Whoa, that is so pretty. Okay. I'm gonna use my fan brush for right above the brows. When I use a sponge, I really like to use it just on the cheekbones because I feel like that can get really frosty. But for everything else, a brush is fine. Look how pretty. A little bit on my chin. Then I'm gonna take a smaller brush for my nose bling on the tip of my nose and between my eyes. Oh yes. Also hit the brow bone and the inner corner. I still have to do my eyes, so I'm not gonna go too crazy, but. And then I'm gonna go on my Cupid's bow, really highlight those lips. Okay, yes. Now I'm gonna take the MAC Fix Plus. This is the pink light. It has little pink fine shimmer in it. It doesn't look like glitter on your skin, but it makes you glow even more. And who says you can't have full coverage glow glam? Just because you want full coverage, it does not mean it has to be matte. It can be dewy, it can be satin, it can be matte, it can be any kind of finish you want. I like a glowing full coverage finish, so I'm gonna take this, spray it, bathe all over the skin, and what this does is it normalizes your skin. So when you add all of these creams and liquids and powders, it's a lot of product. So when you spray this on, everything just becomes one with your skin, and it looks so beautiful and so much softer. And also, if you have any powder sitting on the skin, it's gonna normalize and make it look just like your skin. So I'm gonna spray this all over my face. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I will be back with the final look. All right, you guys, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you did, hit subscribe, join my A-team, and make sure those post notifications are turned on, and you'll have a chance to be featured in my next video. Today's A-team shout out comes from Alicia Ortiz. She said, "I'm loving this look, and I'm loving these chit chat videos you make. You're so real, and I appreciate that. Love you. Hashtag A-team, hashtag notification squad. I love you too. Thank you for believing in me. Like, it really, really means the world." Also, I have a sneak peek of some brand new merch dropping today. I'm so excited to show this to you guys. I know it's been a while since I launched merch. I'm actually working with a new company now. It's called Fanjoy, and they're really great. They work with a lot of other influencers. I'm human, I make mistakes, and unfortunately I make them publicly, so a lot of people get to see when I make mistakes, but I'm always trying to be a better person, do better, and be the best that I can for you guys. So I'm really excited about this merch drop. I'm actually wearing a piece of merch right now. I'm so excited. I'm gonna show you everything that is launching. It's launching today at 12 Pacific Standard Time. Are y'all excited? Right now I'm wearing the Makeup Nutrition Facts shirt. We created this little nutritional facts t-shirt. I'm actually wearing a large as a dress. It has all the makeup nutrition facts, serving size 24/7. It has all the percentages. For contour it says snatched. The shirt comes in black and it also comes in white. I'm wearing a large because I'm wearing it as a dress with some pink sneakers right now. You can also wear it as a regular shirt or tie it and make it like a crop shirt or cut it, whatever you guys want to do with it. So this is the white and pink shirt. It's so freaking cute, and these shirts are so soft, you guys, like so soft. So here is the pink and white one. Then we also have a Makeup Life hoodie. I already showed this on Insta story as my sneak peek item. This is the hoodie that I'm launching. It says the Makeup Life, and they drew little like icons on here for makeup. I have a lipstick, lashes, and a mascara tube. Very simple but very cute. I love it. This one I actually cut, so I made it into a crop hoodie. I literally just took scissors and cut it straight across. I'm also gonna show you the regular version that's not cropped. So here is the full hoodie with a pocket. They do run a little bit big, so I wouldn't get larger. I would definitely get smaller. I wear a small and it fits really good and really comfy. I wear hoodies all year long, so I love me a good hoodie to snuggle with at home or go to the movies in. So this is the hoodie that I am dropping in the first launch. The last clothing item is a tank, and I'm so excited for this tank. Again, it's the Makeup Life. It's only coming in white, so this is what it looks like, and it's so freaking soft. Again, this and the t-shirts are very similar material. They're so soft. This I work out in. I wear it at home when I'm hanging out, when I run errands. It's just so comfy and perfect. You could wear it with a sports bra or a regular nude bra, and it's super cute. I love it so much. Out of everything, I definitely wear this the most because I love wearing tanks when I'm just at home chilling and it's like super hot because it's summer. I love this tank top. I'm also working on a phone case. The samples didn't come in time for me to look at them, so I'm not launching it yet, but I will keep you guys updated as soon as it's ready to launch. In my first merch launch, a lot of you guys asked for phone cases, so I listened, I heard you guys, and I am creating one. It's gonna be a Makeup Life phone case, so stay tuned for that. It could be up as early as next week. I just need to get the samples in just so I can make sure everything is good. But besides that, that's gonna be my first little launch. I'm so excited. Thank you guys for loving me, bearing with me, and just being there for me. I really appreciate it so much, and I love you guys so much, and without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. So I really hope that you enjoy the clothes, and make sure you tag me. I wanna see it whenever you put them on. Thank you as always for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.